Hi everyone, my name is Shayla. I am a senior here in my final year here at Western Washington University, and my concentration is a business management concentration. And today I want to talk to you about the ownership of semi-automatic weapons and if they should or should not be banned in the United States. And today I'm going to be taking the stance of that they should be banned. So, to kind of give you an idea of what a semi-automatic gun or weapon is, it is a firearm that fires a round every time the trigger is pulled and is capable of accepting a detachable magazine and has other military-style features along with it. The first point I want to make today about why semi-automatic weapons should be banned is that they would cause less mass shootings when there is a ban. The Center for American Progress looked at a study that shows mass shootings that happened in between the years 2009 to 2018. When assault weapons were used, there were 6 times more people that were shot compared to different firearms being used. They also stated in their article that these kinds of weapons can cause a very high death toll and a high injury count as well. During the initial gun ban in 1994 that lasted until 2004, there was a significant decrease in the amount of mass shootings and a decrease in the fatalities as well. The second point I want to get to is that guns do not equal protection. In a website called Debate Europe, they argued that trying to shoot down a shooter while you're carrying a gun in public, if there is a mass shooting that's happening, can be very confusing for first responders, and that first responders may think you, a bystander, trying to defend somebody in this mass shooting, is actually the person they're looking for who started the mass shooting. So this can cause a big confusion among first responders and who they're trying to find. There has also been evidence in medical shows and crime shows that have shown scenarios of guns at home with having a concealed permit, getting into the hands of children, and being used in a way they shouldn't be used. For example, in Grey's Anatomy, the show had 2 8-year-old boys, and the boys were playing, and one of the boys' moms had a gun. He found it, and he accidentally shot his friend in the stomach. So this is an example through a TV show of what can happen when a gun gets into the wrong hands of a child. And to take it outside of Hollywood, there was an article from Butler County in their newspaper from February 13th, 2021, February 23rd, 2021, that there was a fatality and an accidental death of a 6-year-old who found his father's gun, who also has a concealed carry and is allowed to have his gun, but because it was in the home, there was a self-inflicted gunshot on this child, and he ended up passing away because the gun was in the home. The third point I want to talk about today is what the ban would look like today if it were to come back. So this ban lasted for 10 years and it expired in 2004. A magazine from 1990 called the ABA talked about the beginnings of the first gun ban and what was going to happen. This first ban talked about gun owners who already own semi-automatic weapons being able to keep those guns, but there would be a cease in being able to sell in future semi-automatic weapons when this ban was in place. In fact, President Biden was on the Judiciary Committee when the ban first took place and was a sponsor of the anti-crime measure, which also included the ban of semi-automatic weapons and guns. In an article from the NPR, it states that during Biden's 2020 presidential run, He not only wanted to bring back this gun ban and renew it, but also make it more strict by doing a buyback program. This would cause an effect of trying to prevent more mass shootings that would happen in the future. And I kind of want to touch on what the other side might say, those who oppose this ban. Some may say that it could infringe on their Second Amendment right. And I argue that it does not ban the use of hunting firearms or sporting firearms. It just bans the use and ownership of semi-automatic weapons. So this doesn't ban all guns. The Center for American Progress also stated that there would be a positive effect from having a ban, including less mass shootings, less fatalities, and a decline in the number of assault weapons recovered at crime scenes. And some may say that this infringes on their right, but when looking at the situations I presented above throughout this whole video, the good outweighs the bad in all situations of having a ban on semi-automatic weapons. So with the talks of having a renewal of the 1994 gun ban, it will be interesting to see how that will unfold and if it will happen. So thank you for listening to me and what I have to say. Hope I gave you something to think about.